Are we live?
We're live, back on Cinema Club. I'm gonna
Hi.
leave a comment for people out there as they come on.
Hi everyone. Thank you for joining our cinema club. I wish you guys had a happy holiday. Oh, here it is.
Flipped it again.
Hi everybody. What are you trying to do?
I'm trying to put this post up here. Hope everyone had a great
4th of July.
4th of July.
And thank you for inviting me your family barbecue.
Well, it was like a chill barbecue. Usually the Bosco family barbecue is really big. This year it was just immediate family, and but it was nice.
It was nice. Thank you.
Hope everyone else out there is doing well. Welcome to Cinema Club. Cinema Club is our weekly, me and Alice Matula. We do a weekly just movie club, like a book club. But since we've been stuck in quarantine with everybody out there, we've been watching a lot of Netflix, a lot of movies, but we decided to do this Cinema Club, which is basically discussing cinema classics, since we're watching so many of them, and we'll discuss some with you guys and have you guys kind of chime in so we can just talk more about movies, which is what we love. You guys that know who I am. I'm an actor, filmmaker, producer, director, writer. Alice also is an actress.
Actors and a director and a producer.
So we love films. So this week of films is
one of my favorite director, Christopher Nolan.
Yes, Christopher Nolan. So shout out to people who are coming. Caltrain, what's up? Thomas, man, thank you for coming through. Erwin, what's going down?
Hi everybody.
Black Light Zero, how y'all doing? Thank y'all for coming through. So we're discussing, for a lot of people that watch us weekly and know the movies and watch movies with us, we definitely want to bring you guys in to discuss this movie. This movie's wild. I watched this movie for the first time when it came out in 2014, and we got excited. We chose this movie because we're excited for Tenet coming out. Obviously, Christopher Nolan's latest film. I think I'm sure a lot of you guys are out there. Definitely Hollywood. It's like going to be the first kind of big release since we went into lockdown. So, I mean, he's a genius. The guy. I mean, we're also fans. I'm a fan of him from the Dark Knight series, from Inception. Memento. The guy's a genius. And Interstellar was just, I don't know, we just picked Interstellar. An amazing cast. Let's just start out with the cast. She picked it. And I was like, I love that film. I watched it one time back in the day, and I remember not knowing exactly
what is happening in this story.
I remember the feeling, but not all the science, and you watch it again, and yeah, there's a lot of science and crazy stuff. It's still over my head, but I definitely connected with the film. Start off with an amazing cast. I mean, Matthew McConaughey, Anne Hathaway, Jessica Chastain, Michael Caine. What's crazy is young Timothy Chalamet was in it, which I didn't realize because it's before he did Call Me by Your Name, which he won an Oscar for, and he was a kid back then playing the son, and so that was amazing. Thank you for loving my shirt. Oh, nice.
I thought you were gonna give me one of the shirts.
Yeah, you have one of these shirts. You want one of these? These are nice. Blue Spirit. It was a fan art shirt made by Kay Frito, so I love this shirt. But let's just, before we bring people in, we'll just discuss the film. What is it about? For people that did not watch the film, what's the film about?
The film we're gonna discuss is Interstellar. It's one of my favorite director all the time, Christopher Nolan. So he's a British-American filmmaker known for making a personal, distinctive films within the Hollywood mainstream. He directed a
Topher Grace, yes. Shout out to Topher Grace is in the movie. Shout out to Topher Grace.
And then his film grossed more than 4.7 billion worldwide. And then
all his movies?
Yes, garnered
he's a gangster.
Total of 34 Oscar nominees and 10 wins. So Nolan was practically influenced by most of his work influenced by Ridley Scott, and then science fiction film 2001 on Space Odyssey. How do you pronounce
2001 Space Odyssey.
Odyssey, and then 1968.
Which is a Kubrick film, so he's obviously inspired by Kubrick.
And then Star Wars. He's also
which is George Lucas.
George Lucas. Star Wars is 1977.
He's just one of those dudes. Nolan is like right in that lineage. He's like Kubrick, Lucas. Spielberg. With Close Encounters.
It's
Nolan.
more science fiction's film, and then he's typically rooted in. I was practiced how to pronounce this word. I couldn't. Epistome. Metaphysical?
I can't say that word.
Please help me. That's the language you spoke.
Epistemological. I don't know. Metaphysical.
Epistemological.
Metaphysical. Don't be giving me different words.
Metaphysical.
Happy birthday, Corey.
And then exploring human morality and construction of time, and then nature of memory. So personal identity. These are the elements he's focused on. So, and then his work is permitted by
astronomical. I'm with that. I'm gonna go astronomical. There's a deal for you guys that watch the show. People watch it for the first time. We both study film. We both love film. She went to college, got her master's, so she's like gonna try. She's very smart, and she got a lot of research. I just grew up in the industry, so I'm just gonna talk from the heart, like how I feel about it.
No, don't put me on the different.
I'm not gonna put you on a different side. I'm just saying.
But I mean, it's just it's the film. You have to talk about the fact. Also, it's the heart of the film. Of course, you have to talk about what is the heart of the film. So, the stars you just mentioned, Matthew McConaughey. McConaughey. How we are like pronounced white people's name. Super.
His name is Matthew McConaughey.
That last name is hard to pronounce.
Oh, you gotta think of him as the Mr. Alright. Texas boy, Matthew McConaughey. I love him as an actor. I love watching him act. He's like one of those actors that are infinitely
100%.
watchable. Like I don't know what he's doing. Any movie he does, I don't care if it's a commercial for Lincoln. I can watch that commercial.
That commercial, yes.
He's great. He's just like, what is this dude doing? How does he think? What's happening? He's always in it.
He's actor.
But he's into it 110%.
So that's called actor.
Yeah, I'm gonna call that an actor. So the movie is about it's good. You're gonna give
go ahead.
Give a synopsis. No, give us a synopsis. I don't know. You have it written down.
No, it's I mean, you want to give it a...
No.
I don't want to sound smart.
You are smart.
Like, no, I'm not. Not that smart.
Go.
So it's a movie about the Earth future or the global crop line and the second dust flow are slowly rendering the planet uninhabitable because they can't like live in this future. Uninhabitable. All right, I'm getting weird. Professor Brand Michael Caine, which is played by Michael Caine, a brilliant NASA physicist. He's working on plans to save the mankind by transporting the Earth population to the new home via wormhole. So, do you know what is wormhole?
No.
Me neither.
Yeah, I do know.
But the first Brad must send to former NASA pilot Cooper, which is played by Matthew McConaughey, and a team of researchers. So throughout this whole wormhole across the galaxy to find out which of the 3 planets could be making a new home.
Yeah.
So we tried to go, this NASA team members to find a new home. Basically, this entire whole plot of the story is find a new home because the Earth, we cannot live this Earth anymore. This is a futuristic world.
So,
but it's future.
Can I give the cliff notes? The world is ending, and they're gonna send these astronauts out to find us a new world. What's crazy about the movie? This was shot in 2014, but if you watch it now, it feels like a post-COVID movie. Like they have a dust storm, but everybody's wearing masks. They're having like problems with their lungs. People are dying. It's like the last generation of humans on the Earth. So it's like, whoa.
It's a COVID happening.
Right, and so they gotta find.
Not put us in that like danger.
I'm just saying, when I was watching it, that's what it felt like to me. Like this is so eerie and weird because they're like talking about how your lungs, how long you have that cough. Oh, you gotta wear a mask. Super strange. So
that's the future. Do you think that future is gonna happen soon?
I hope not. Man, why get so dark in the middle of cinema club?
No, I'm not trying to dark.
No, so the movie has so much science, and they talk about they're going through wormholes, which is like interplanetary kind of jumping. It's all scientific, right? Black holes.
It's a sphere. It's called sphere, right?
A sphere.
Sphere.
A wormhole sphere.
Wormhole sphere, and they have to cross the sphere.
And it goes to another galaxy.
And they go to a different galaxy. Oh, that's still like based on the scientist fact because we're not
scientists out there. Any scientists out there?
Scientists.
No, but it was. I mean, I didn't quite get the science. Did you? All of it? Not all of it.
All general idea.
Because then they start going into like the fifth dimension. Like there's 3 dimensions, but then there's a 4th dimension. But then he went to a 5th dimension where all time was different places or something. And he's trying to redo gravity. They're just basically trying to save the world.
Going to the different galaxies.
Yeah. Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert.
New Hope.
They saved the world.
No. Did they?
They do.
Oh yeah.
They save mankind. Sophie says he or she gives it 4 out of 5.
Do we have a scientist?
I don't know. We're gonna discuss it more. She has a lot of information.
As a filmmaker perspective.
But as a filmmaker, it's brilliant. One of the crazy things, Christopher Nolan is so visual, and the sound. We're paying attention to a lot of the sound because I've been editing my film and we just went through a whole sound pass to like really see how sound works in the Folly, and how he edited that was pretty amazing. On the scope he did from like emptiness of space to like inside and Earth and all kind of stuff was pretty wild. And then Alice told me Christopher Nolan actually he's a colorblind. Wow, which is crazy because he's such a visual director in everything he does.
He is not only a visual genius, he's also a music genius. He has his genius, like the sound, basically, like beyond. Before he developed
She really likes him a lot.
Yes,
he's cool. No, I'm not. He's a genius. He's obviously a genius. He's one of the living legends. If one of us were able to work with him in the future, that would be like...
Oh my god, that's my dream! Oh, never mind.
So, if you're watching and you want to join the conversation and you watch the film, yes, Hans Zimmer did the music and he's amazing.
Hans Zimmer, yes, that's the German guy.
Lehman 12, you're 100% correct about that.
So he did before.
But if you're in the chat, hashtag space, the word space, and then we'll look for your name and we'll bring you in. Hashtag space.
Yes. Space equals. Okay, yes. Here it is. So before he's developing this project, he has a basic idea of what is this story about, like just the daughter and the father relationship. And he talked to this music composer, Hans Zimmer, which is a German guy. He's a genius also. Right. He works on The Dark Knight and then Inception, etc. So he talked to him. This is my idea. This is a story, which is a daughter-father relationship, and he didn't say anything more. And then the guy, he just played a short note with a piano and then sent it to him. What do you think? And he listened to that piano soundtrack. He's like, I got an idea.
And he changed the whole story from the music.
Didn't change. He based on that piano soundtrack. He created.
He got inspired.
He wrote
amazing.
it. But
so look, can I bring someone in? Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. We can bring something in.
We're gonna bring. Let's see, Rez. No, let's see, Rez. Yes, we're bringing more people in.
I wonder how we look like when we try to bring something.
I know we look probably super strange. What's up?
Hey!
What's your name?
I'm Reza.
Yo, Reza, what's going down? Where are you calling from?
Las Vegas.
Ooh,
yo, Las Vegas. How's it going? Is it open back up? Are the casinos open back up? How old are you?
I'm 15.
Awesome.
15.
So have you watched the movie?
Yeah, I saw it.
What do you think of it? Drop some knowledge on us, Reza.
Well, I liked it a lot, but the ending when he's in the black hole, that part was kind of confusing.
Yeah. To me also. Like he...
But I feel
Did you understand? Are you a science person?
Kind of. Like, I understand that, space and time gets bent inside the black hole.
Yeah.
Yeah, but, what about being able to look at all time at the same time in one room?
I didn't understand that at all, but...
I didn't understand it at all. It looked cool. I was like, what is going on? And then he's communicating through binary code and Morse code.
Binary.
Yeah.
And then he's able to communicate through the watch at the end. I don't understand that.
And when he pushed the book down, it made everything made sense. Yeah,
from earlier in the movie. It was a very kind of... Nolan has a great way of kind of connecting the story in that way. He has all these little you want to watch the movie again to see those moments again. Almost like Sixth Sense, where you're like, what happened? How did that happen? How did that work? So are you a movie lover?
Yeah, I've seen a lot of movies.
Why? You just love films?
Yeah, I like just seeing movies.
Even though I
and
know the
like
answer,
learning-
what is your top 3?
What are your top 3 films?
Even though I think he's...
I don't know off the top of my head right now. But
What do you think? Just today, just right now. What would you say, like 3 films you've really been on your
I
mind
really
lately?
like The Dark Knight.
Dark
Knight's
Knight, yes,
amazing.
it's a good one.
I like I'm not sure. I like Star Wars.
I do too.
And
Okay, what's your favorite Star Wars? What's your favorite Star Wars?
Episode 3.
The Last
Star
Jedi?
Wars, Last Jedi?
No. Revenge of the Sith.
Oh, Episode 3. The last. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, you are 15. I'm just kidding. I like Empire Strikes Back. I like Rogue One and Empire Strikes Back. Rogue One.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Did you like Rogue One?
I also like Rogue One. Yeah.
Yeah, I
the
love
Darth
Rogue
Vader
One too.
scene at the end.
Definitely Rogue One's my favorite. Well, thank you for calling in. I'm glad that you watched the film and you had some good information for us. We're still trying to figure out the science of it all. I love the family aspect of the film, the science. Even though I didn't understand all the science, I kind of got over it because I'm like, I don't know what's going on, but I understand the intention behind it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And the kids did amazing. The young kids did amazing performances too. The young girl, Mackenzie Floyd was dope in the film.
She's a great actress, yes.
Thank you. Maybe you'll be a filmmaker someday. We could work together, Reza.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
Thank you.
Enjoy.
Have a good day.
Fun. All right. Bye.
Bye.
Awesome. Let's bring someone else in. Who else should we bring in? I don't know. Should I bring
anybody? Let's see.
Let's see who. I didn't see who all put their thing in there, but let's go this one. Let's see this.
Can you see the space? Hashtag.
That was not. No one's there. So hashtag space. Let me see. Let me see who's here. Okay. Amiri said they were here. Interstellar. What's up?
Hey.
How you doing? What's your name?
I'm doing good. My name's Amrita.
Amrita, how are you doing? Where are you calling in from?
California.
Awesome. We're in Cali too. What part of Cali?
Orange County.
OC. Awesome. And did you watch the movie?
Oh, I've watched this movie like a million times.
And what do you have to say about it? Tell us about it. Drop some knowledge on us.
I've had to watch this movie so many times just to understand like that one part where he glides over the wormhole to get to the other side. Right?
Yeah. And her hand kind of like goes.
Mm-hmm. That's my favorite part of the movie, like when she does the intergalactic handshake.
Yeah, intergalactic handshake. Yes.
Yeah, but like the one sequence in the movie where like he went into that weird fifth dimensional library.
Like the library, fifth dimension. I don't get that still. What's going on? What the hell? How come he's floating? What the hell's going on?
I know. Like I
Why
had
are you
to.
screaming?
I'm watching it. How much time is this taking? Is he have endless time? I thought maybe does he get hungry? How much energy does it take? Maybe he needs some food. And he's talking to her over the years. I don't know what's going on. He's very emotional. He's hitting the books on the bookshelf. And how does he know this stuff? Binary codes. Oh, he does have a computer.
Well, binary codes, like it's back in the day when they go to war, people like.
No, binary code's computers. 0
Oh, they
and
come
1.
in 0 and 1.
You're talking Morse code.
Morse code. Yeah, I'm sorry. Morse code. Yeah, they use that word.
Did you understand? Are you a science nerd? Do you know about the science?
I'm such a space nerd. Like I had to
Are you?
know everything about this movie. Yeah.
So drop some knowledge on us. Is this all?
Makes sense.
Is it possible?
I mean, I don't see how traveling near black holes and wormholes could be safe without ripping anyone apart. So like I don't know about that part, but I mean it seems pretty accurate as much as like based on all my knowledge of space movies. But
what about
like
the time?
Part.
What about the time relativity? The time relativity is a trip.
When they went to that one planet.
Yeah, explain to the people time relativity that had not seen the movie.
Okay, so in this part of the movie, they sent like 13 astronauts to different planets, right? And one of the scientists went to this one planet, and it was just like completely covered in water, and it kept on like being engulfed in waves. And one thing I realized is that right when they landed, she was only there for like probably 3 minutes.
Right.
Right. And because every hour on that planet is 7-ish years in like human like Earth years, right?
Right.
And what is it? The way, I don't know how to describe it, but like you could see this what is it? The spaceship she came in drifting off in the distance.
Right. Like it had just crashed like 10 minutes before that planet, but it's been like years.
Yeah.
So weird. So that's real in space. In the space stuff you researched, that's how space works, or planets or something.
I mean, time. Time is relative. It all depends on gravity, which is another big part of the movie. Right?
That part I had no clue about. The plan A and gravity, I didn't get. I don't know. Were they in reverse gravity or something, or get the whole?
No, the plan A it's to take the humankinds, froze the humankind.
That's plan B.
That's the plan. Plan A is to take the spaceship.
Yeah.
To
space station.
Space station.
By redoing gravity.
By redoing the gravity and take it to the space.
That don't make sense.
The plans don't.
To me, it doesn't make sense. But the yeah, I didn't get all that 100%, but
well, in the beginning of the movie, they said the human like only needs this much about the this much of oxygen, but we're only breathing this much, and then we will only have to reach this much. Like they give a lot of like
but
numbers.
There's something about gravity, and if they can reverse gravity, they get this whole thing into outer space.
The thing is with that, like Plan A was to figure out this equation for gravity, right? So they could send like as many space shuttles they can filled with human life, right? But we all know that like, that wasn't gonna happen because of, no spoilers, but spoilers, right? It wasn't gonna happen. So I just lost track of that, sorry.
Okay, just go back in the time continuum and go back to the moment before and then.
Yeah, so that was Plan A, just to like figure out gravity, right? And Murph figured it out at the end, right? And that's how she made that weird circle Earth thing where,
where the gravity is all over the place.
I didn't get that part. Like
I still don't get it, and I still enjoyed the movie even though I didn't get it 100%, but I still enjoyed it. You obviously seem to know more information about the science than we did, and which is amazing. How many times have you seen the movie?
I think 5 or 6 times.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And what's your favorite part of the film?
Favorite part of the film? It has to be when Cooper finally sees Murph again at the hospital.
Oh my God.
They compare their watches, right?
Yeah.
And like all that talk about how like love is the only thing that transcends space and time. Because like this whole movie is basically just about love.
That is true.
Father-daughter love story.
That's a beautiful part of it. It's like through all this science and space and time and all this crazy scientific stuff, they're saying
the whole heart of this story
is love.
Which is the father tried to save the daughter, and the father
which is very unscientific. Which is very unscientific in a lot of in science talk. Like love is not scientific.
Save the world, save the earth, save
but
the
yet
daughter.
It's the one thing that kind of keeps us alive or something. And it's somehow still, they're saying it is still tangible and measurable scientifically, which is fascinating. Well, I thank you so much for calling in. You had so much information for us. I still don't understand the movie, but I understand it a little bit more.
Let's educate this guy.
Thank you so much. Shout out to Orange County.
Bye.
Cheers.
Bye.
Cheers.
Wow.
It's amazing.
She was cool.
I know. I'm glad people watched it.
Amarita in the house, killing the game, doing so much. So thank you. A lot of people. I see the comments going. Y'all being crazy in the comments. If you watch the film,
please hashtag
space. And I'm gonna bring some people in right now.
Some people in. Join the conversation.
Let's get here.
Let's see. I want to talk about this sound.
Go for it. Talk about sound as I get someone else in here.
What do you think of the sound? What is the favorite part? the entire film,
I can't.
My favorite part. Can you able to pull it?
Oh yeah.
My favorite part of the movie is when Cooper he decides to leave to the space. He drive out. He say goodbye to the Murphy, and
Right.
she's being stubborn and she's like heartbreaking. And he lives. He drive by he leave the house, and then Murphy, she cries. She just like Dad, and just
Oh yeah, that is a
run
great
up to
scene.
the
With the
run up to
countdown,
the
the
house,
countdown of the film.
countdown.
Great.
And we already hear voice overlap,
Voice overlapping,
Voice
and then they're in the
overlapping,
space station going.
and then we already hear countdown and the space station that 1, 2, like 9, 8,
Yeah.
and we seeing father living, daughter ran out, and just say like crying. That moment it is
So dramatic.
Dramatic, and
Beautiful.
it's a brilliant
The
decision.
shot of the cornfields.
How beautiful the voice
and then space.
overlapping, the picture we're seeing, but we're hearing different sound, but everybody has the same emotion. We're living from this
I love it.
earth.
I was trying to bring
It's that
Matt
part.
Rainier in, but he's not Ranieri, but it's not. You're not coming in, Matt. Who else? Let me see some other people. Hashtag space out there, and let's see. Let's see what I can grab in here.
Let's
I don't know why I can't press
Your
that
phone
button.
has got freeze.
My phone is not. Oh no, that's my
Bookshelf.
bookshelf. But it's okay. We'll be back.
Okay. Maybe
Um,
some people.
I don't know. Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
A bookshelf. Okay, let's see if someone else is here. Space. Hashtag space, and we'll come try to find you. Hello.
Hi.
How you doing? What's your name?
I'm good. I'm Alex.
Alex. Nice to meet you. Where you calling in from?
So I am in Reno, Nevada.
Reno, Nevada. Shout out to
Yeah.
Reno, Nevada. How hot is it in Reno right now?
Really, really hot. I am staying inside.
Scorching.
95 outside.
Oh, crazy. I can't. It's like 80s out here, and
80s
we're
out
dying.
here. It's already hot here.
Have you watched Interstellar?
I have. I didn't watch it this week, and it's actually been a little bit since I've watched it. But
What's your memories of it? What's your memories of Interstellar?
I have so many. The first time I saw it, actually, I saw it like in IMAX when it first came out.
Yeah.
I was with my brother, and my brother decided that he wanted to become an astrophysicist. When we
What? After watching that movie?
Yes. And he didn't become an astrophysicist, but I think it's cool that like it. I think it's
But I love that he got inspired by
You
it.
got inspired.
Yeah.
That's the power of filmmaking.
I'm sure someone became an astrophysicist after the movie. I thought I was an astrophysicist in my dreams last night. I dreamt a lot about space last night for some reason. I woke up like, what am I dreaming about? I mean, obviously Interstellar, but I thought I knew what I was watching, but I really woke up and still don't understand exactly what's going on.
Last week I'm dreaming about musical thing.
So your brother did not become an astrophysicist?
No. He decided later he just really liked film.
Also
think,
great.
yeah,
Also
that's
another
really
great.
good.
Did he become a director or writer or editor? Or?
No, he just graduated from school, so he's like his career has not been figured out yet.
There's always more space in LA. You just tell him to jump in a car, head to Hollywood, and start making movies. What do you do?
I actually work in marketing, but I love film. When I was in school, I did a minor that had to do with film.
Oh wow!
So, which like kind of made it more of a hobby than anything. But yeah, I love watching movies. I think it's escapism. It's just really nice. Yes,
or education or inspiration.
Yeah.
All the above.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you remember your favorite part of
this film?
I have a few. I love the part where Michael Caine is reciting "Do Not Go Gentle into That Good Night."
Of course, rage
like,
the dying light.
It's
The poet in me, it rings out to the poet in me also.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, very emotional poem.
Yeah, I didn't know anything about the poem before I first watched the movie, and
really?
Looked it up after and everything. But that just like gives me chills every time. I love when he's talking to his family, or not talking to his family, when his family is sending him all the messages and he's reading them after the 20 years he's been gone.
Killed me.
It's like,
Because I'm very close to my family, and like the times I'm away, I don't see them, and like you see like a message, or you have a fight with your family member.
Yep.
Like I've gone through years not talking to certain members of my family, and then you see the daughter leave a message and just like kills you. Like, oh my god.
Now how you feel? How I feel?
I know she's away from her family.
I haven't seen my family for 7 years, so we've been socially distancing for 7 years. So you talking about the family not seeing for a few weeks?
It's so sad. It's so sad.
Yeah,
You know, when he comes back and he's seen this from his son, the Casey Affleck, and he's like, "Hope you're at peace." And he's like, "I ain't at peace. This dude is all a wreck."
Yeah, I feel like you don't really need the context of the movie to just like really feel the emotion of it. If I'm not watching the movie, if it's just on, like sometimes you turn the TV on and it's just on, like when that scene's playing, you're just like instantly emotional. You don't need the context of the rest of the movie to feel it. It's just, yeah, it gets it. But yeah.
Well, thank you for calling in, Alex. That you stay cool out there, Rena.
Thanks.
Stay cool.
Shout out to your brother. Tell him, take another shot at astrophysics or come to Hollywood and make some movies.
Yeah, hopefully you will.
All right.
I appreciate you doing this, by the way. Big fan of your work.
Oh, I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Bye.
Bye. All right, let's get some other people in here. A phone call came in, but now we're back. I don't know what happened there. I hope that didn't mess up everything. What do you think?
I don't know about your phone. Your phone
How come
acting
there
weird
goes.
today.
My phone's acting strange.
Let's bring some. Should we bring
Yeah, they just texted. Let's see if they can get them in here.
Let's see. Gehad. Gebhad.
Gerhard. I think maybe talk to Gebhard.
She's a musician.
Oh,
Yay!
hi! How are you doing?
Finally, I managed to get in the live. Oh my god. Hi, hello.
What's your name?
It's Gerhard.
Nice to see you. For people that saw my story, and I think you posted your story too.
I posted.
You didn't get it last week, but you had this really great musical analogy of West Side Story from last week. And you got to check because she is amazing.
She's a musician background.
Oh,
Let's drop some music background, music knowledge. Go ahead.
Oh, music. Okay, I got a lot of notes about music, but I was also going to talk about the science, but it's okay.
Wait, no,
you already talked
talk
about
about
science.
Talk about what you want. Science, everything.
Anything.
Okay, so for the music part, you already said that Hans Zimmer didn't know it was going to be a space opera. He just knew it was about like a father and a son relationship. He didn't even know it was a daughter, exactly. And after they like figured out what it's going to be, he actually incorporated a 60 BPM for all of the soundtracks, like because it's like the passing of time. So you can hear it.
TikTok definitely.
Yeah. Also, it's like
and then
it's usually 60 BPM, but in the scene where they're on the tidal planet, like the sea planet, where the tsunami was happening, it actually slows down. It's like 48 BPM or something. So it's like a time dilation also in the music.
They did like tuck.
You talking about 48 and 47?
No.
It's
Something like, and if the people. Oh, go ahead. You go ahead.
Yeah, that was what I was gonna say. Also, like they used a lot of like church organ stuff to like establish the religious like subtext in the movie. I don't know if you've realized there are a lot of Christianity stuff going on in the movie. I'm not a Christian, but I also looked at like the Bible quotes to like see if there are any connections between the characters and the Bible stuff. And I actually found out that the names actually symbolize stuff.
That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Where are you the name from?
Turkey.
Oh, Turkey. Oh, wow.
What city?
Istanbul.
Istanbul. I've been there.
Yeah, she's Uyghur, so they're kind of, you guys are kind of related to Turks. Yes. And your breakdown was amazing. But what were you going to say about the science?
The science.
The science, for sure.
Yeah, I studied like astrophysics in high school in IB, but I forgot most of it. I can just like understand in the basic level.
You're just studying astrophysics?
But like for like 2 years, it was just 2 years, and I just forgot all of it because like I'm in university now and I'm studying a totally different thing. I'm doing film and brain and cognitive science, so it's nothing about physics anymore. but I
That's what you're
still like
studying
it.
right now?
Yeah, I'm doing a double major in film and brain and cognitive science.
What do you want to do? Make movies or brain surgery?
Not brain surgery, but I was doing an artificial intelligence track. But I actually want to be more into the film industry part. Like I like the artsy part more than my other science part. But I still love science, so I didn't want to like give it
I
up
just
and
signed
just
on
like
to do a
do
show on Twitch, you know, the live streaming platform called Artificial Next, about this artificial intelligent being. It's like a soap opera about an artificial intelligence situation.
Oh,
And I
that's
start
cool. I
on
didn't know.
Thursday, and the audience. It's like a choose your own adventure for the audience, huh?
Commercial time.
I know. So I'm just saying, she's talking about artificial intelligence. You can watch it on Twitch on Thursdays out of Artificial
Okay.
Next. So what year are you in college?
I'm a junior. I'm going to be a junior this year if the pandemic allows me to go back to the States.
Right. Oh, where are you going? Where are you studying?
In upstate New York, Rochester.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
Very cool. And do you want to be a director or filmmaker?
Yeah, yes, actually, yes. I want to be in the production process. So like screenwriter, director, music, or like I'm going to take a lot of audio engineering classes this semester as well, like poly work and film music scoring and stuff like that. So yeah, it's going to be fun, I think.
No, it is.
It's gonna be so much fun.
It's so much fun. I mean, I directed my first film, so I went through the whole process of not just, I'm an actor, so I'm always interested in acting and storytelling and screenwriting. That's like first nature, and then dealing with visuals with the DP, of course. But then after, when you're in post-production, heavy into the sound and the sound mixing and the quality and how each musical beat can influence the movie in certain aspects, and then going through right now we're going through color and the visualization and the switching. It's all encompassing. So it's great that you're getting a well-rounded view of the whole industry.
True.
But you seem I watched your whole story of West Side Story. I mean, I watched your whole thing of West Side Story. You're very detailed, and that's very great for a director. So I think you're on the right track for sure. You were discussing your thing. We're like, oh my God, this girl went in on every.
I was going to talk a lot more, but then I realized I can only post 10 videos at a time, so it had to be 10 minutes.
It was intense. You were very esoteric on certain chords and the resolving of certain chords and songs. I was like, wow, that's fascinating. But so you're in Turkey right now?
Yeah, I'm in Turkey right now.
Wow, we're international. Alice got people in Turkey. It's amazing.
It's international. Why
So,
not?
that being said, what's your favorite part of the movie?
My favorite part is the Tesseract part where he just sees all the time stuff happening in front of his eyes.
Yes.
It's actually, it was explained pretty well, I think, in a science fiction film point of view, because like I think they worked with like a actual physicist as an executive producer.
Yes.
I think that's why it was pretty much accurate.
Name is, I think it's Kip Thorne.
Yeah.
Kip Thorne. He was one of the creative too. So he's the actual physics doctor. So he gave all the like.
It's all based in some kind of type of scientific reality.
Yeah, because it made a lot of sense, especially that part, because like, okay, basically, from what I remember from high school,
yes,
we live in a 4-dimensional place, but we all know like the 3 dimensions, like we can like move up and down, we can go left and right, so it's like
what's
3
the 4th
dimensions.
dimension?
The 4th dimension is time, basically, because like it moves forward, it always moves forward, right? So we always live in the present, but we can't go back to the past, or we can go to the future. We just live.
I appreciate you sharing that. I've been wondering about that 4th dimension through the whole movie, but it's time. Makes sense.
So when he's in the Tesseract, he can look at the 4th dimension from a higher dimension, so he can see the time as well. In my head, like that's how I explain
he
it to
saw
myself.
the future.
So what's the 5th dimension?
So it's just like a higher plane where he can see the 4 dimensions, because we live in the 4 dimensions, but we can just like move in 3 directions. We can't go back or forward in time. Yeah. But when he's in a higher plane, he can like see the time as well. So when he can see all of it that's happening, it's like the particular section in time is always happening. So he can't really change it. and
Right.
he didn't change it. He always went and like went to the mission, came back, and went to the mission, came back. He didn't really change anything. He could
Right,
just
right,
like
right.
alert people to just like try to change it, but he didn't
Yeah,
change it.
and
He
Happy
always
was
went.
saying with time we can never go back. We can push and bend time, but we can never go back in time.
Yeah,
Until
because
he
when you
found,
look
Actually,
until
based
the
on
fifth dimension, until he got to the fifth dimension.
when you look at the time frame, you can see that he's always being born, he's always dying, he's always speaking to
Right.
Murphy. It's not really
Right.
changing. It's always happening. But you can just like see the parts because you're in
This
a
is kind
higher
of movies
dimension.
that when you're like, you know, a little tipsy or a little high, you have these great conversations with friends. But we had this conversation about something like this where we said all time is moving at the same time, all time, all times. But we're just, there's another friend telling me, we're just a needle on the record. That's the only way we can digest it is as the needle on the record, but the record exists. Like, so our whole lives was happening, and it's always constantly moving. I was like, wow.
I saw Neil deGrasse Tyson's video. He was saying we are prisoners of the present. I really like that line.
Yes.
President.
Because like we just live in the moment.
That
We
makes
can't
sense,
really
yeah.
go anywhere.
I know, but you know, if we go to the fifth dimension, we could be playing that record, and we could be the DJ.
Also, have you made the connection between the character names and certain aspects of their like personalities and stuff like that? Because I really didn't find anything on the internet, but it like I kind of figured some stuff out from their names.
like Murphy's
Like
Law,
some
Murphy Cooper.
Murphy Cooper.
Yeah, Murphy's Law is the most obvious one, I think, out of all of them. But like when I looked at the meanings behind like everyone else's name, like the etymology and stuff, there are a lot of like connections to the Bible. And Nolan himself says that there are like religious symbolism.
Really?
That's why he wanted to use the organ with Hans Zimmer. Yeah. And like what I found was, I have notes. Wait a second.
Give it
What
to
I
us.
found
Give it
was,
to us, girl.
There we go.
I want to.
I did a lot of film analysis
Part of
last
this whole
semester.
thing is talking movies, but also learning.
Learning something, yeah.
God knows that movie was above my head for part.
That's true. Yeah, I found that Emilia means like fertile and also work, and they were like carrying embryos to other planets to save human race. So fertile, that's why I made the connection. Also,
Okay.
Brand, Professor Brand means sword from what I've seen. And I thought about it and made the connection like maybe it's like connected to the Bible or something, like a verse. And I found this verse in Bible. I have no like affiliations with Christianity whatsoever. I was just like looking up at the quotes from Bible in the internet. And I found this. It says, put your sword back into its place, for all who take the sword will perish by the sword. Do you think that I cannot appeal to my father? So when Murphy actually just figures out what the problem is in Brand's equation, she actually like finds her father as well. And if the father is the Holy Ghost and the God in this scenario, Murphy can be the savior. So that's kind of like a
Related.
like I'm
Also, you
reaching.
said
I
Brand
might
is
be
the
reaching.
sword. Brand is the sword.
Yeah.
But also,
Yeah, because the
also
equation
it
was
also can apply
tricky.
to. Now we're like really book club action. Like it can also apply to the young Brand talking to her father, the older Brand.
Yes.
Because her father
Yeah.
screwed her over, but she's kind of like making it better or whatever. That quote.
True, and also Man, we know
Not
Man
as
that
eloquent as
he
what she said, but you know what I'm talking about.
and the astronaut who was actually the selfish one out of all of them. He was I think his surname was Man or something. Like the astronaut who
yeah,
was who failed. Yeah.
not Ben Affleck, but
No.
Matt Damon.
Matt Damon.
Odd
Yeah.
character. What was he doing? A, is he okay? Is he just going crazy in space? B, and B, another question, since you are understanding this way better than me, both of you guys can answer this, is the they. Are we the they? Who are the they? Remember they keep talking about they sent us here?
Who is the they?
Are we, is it us sending ourselves
I
from the
feel
fifth
like
dimension?
It's the future fifth dimension.
Yeah, if you connect it to like Space Odyssey or like Solaris and movies like that, they might be the next step in humanity, like the evolved humans. But people, a lot of people like this movie because it was more philosophical and religious than sci-fi. That's one of the reasons why it was like that, was because they kind of alluded to like a holy being, and most people who don't believe in holy beings didn't really find that very objective. That's
then
why
he
it
was
was like,
saying
but I
they
think
is
it's like
us.
them. I think it's us. I think it's us, but in a
I
future.
think we're the they. Like it's our future
Yeah,
selves.
yeah, yeah. I think so too. I think it's like the next step of humanity.
That's actually end of the movie too. Future when he's fall off that black hole and he's stuck in that bookshelf and he pushing the bookshelf like sending a future. Don't leave, idiot. Don't leave. Like that's how he's sending information
We're our own ghosts.
to his past. He already in the future in the fifth dimension, and he's sending information to his present day.
What if all the ghosts that people feel they saw ghosts are just ourselves or somebody in the fifth dimension sending us messages?
Possibilities.
I mean, it can happen.
Okay.
It's possible.
I don't. This movie is kind of crazy.
We can talk on and on.
But I love the film. I did love that.
Did you love that part when they go to space and suddenly when that space explosion happened?
It's silent, that part?
Yeah, the silent. Yeah, I love the silence.
Yeah, I really love it.
I love the sounds.
It gets me so scary. It's like you feel that explosion, but you feel you are in the space.
Yeah, because sound's not traveling into space. Yeah, it's really...
Space?
Huh?
You think you guys will ever get to space?
Okay, there's this question. If you have a one-way ticket, you have to go, but you don't know.
I heard on some podcasts that Virgin and Tesla are doing like space trips in the next 20 years. You could pre-buy a ticket right now. I think it's like $250,000 for like a.
I was gonna ask how expensive it was.
You going to space?
I would go. Honestly, I would go. I'm kind of bored in Earth, to be honest. There's nothing I can do at the moment.
Oh my God, you got.
I will stay in the Earth eating that corn.
I might go. I don't know. I might go. But I gotta come back. I'm not going to like not come back.
One-way ticket. If it's one-way ticket, you can't come back.
I don't know. It's heavy.
Depends on where we're going, though.
Huh?
You're right.
I mean, if it's a planet where we can colonize and not die.
They dropped some anti-black propaganda. They were saying how America was like fake the moon missions. They said that.
Oh, that was in the movie too. They were saying it was fake.
Yes, actually, they faked the movie and they
to bankrupt Russia.
Yeah.
There's some crazy stuff. If you watch the movie, they say some crazy things. Hold on a second.
Yeah,
I remember from last week. Are you a musician? Do you play an instrument?
Yeah, I play the violin, and I used to play the piano too, but I just focus on violin now.
You guys, this girl is a woman of many talents. We're expecting big things from this woman here. Hopefully, in the next 5-10 years, for a movie.
Commercial time.
It's pretty awesome.
I'm so happy you watched it and you dropped some knowledge. We didn't do like deep research as you did, which is what is the actually meaning of the Bible side, religious side.
That's why we do this Instagram, so we can learn stuff from people like you.
Exactly. Not
that's why I try to join every week.
We're amazing.
I just like watching movies and talking about them.
Yes, that's like we're learning from each other, and then we learn actually better stuff from you guys, which is eye-opening. It's so amazing.
So thank you so much for joining us and having the fortitude to come back, even though at one time that
I will come back hopefully next week.
Well, next week,
and next week we're watching a classic film called A Place in the Sun by George Stevens, Montgomery Clift and Elizabeth Taylor. It's based on
I think I watched it a long time ago, but I don't remember anything.
It's a black and white film. A Place in the Sun. A Place in the Sun.
We're gonna go back in black and white.
Black and white. It's a classic.
Okay.
It's probably my favorite film of all time.
Ooh. Okay. I think I've seen it, but a long time ago. I'm not really sure. I don't remember anything. I will rewatch it if I've seen it.
Yeah, it's a classic tale. So
yeah, if anyone else wants to do it, I want to like.
Much more things for us to think about that we did not think about.
Okay.
Please join.
Thank you so much. Cheers to Istanbul.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, we might have time to bring one more person in.
Yeah.
So let me see.
Damn, she literally dropped a deep knowledge.
Cult of Fisher. Let's see if we can get Cult of Fisher.
What about our old friend?
Oh yeah, let's see. Yeah.
Sophia, she's here too. Shout out to Sophia.
We gotta get Kat. Let's see if we
Let's
get
the Kat, and then if you have the time, maybe drop some other people.
Wow. Here
Great.
comes Kat.
Here comes the Kat.
Kat's in the house.
Hi.
Welcome.
Hi,
Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
You obviously watched the movie.
Yes, it was my first time watching it, and it's definitely, as we all saw, like a movie we can watch multiple times to really get it. But the one thing that so much good stuff has been talked on this live stream, so I'm like, what can I add to this conversation?
Yes.
So I'm thinking about Matt Damon's character and how he's
odd character.
Yeah, he's the odd character, and I think you could say he's like the villain, but not really the antagonist. You know, he tries to kill Matthew McConaughey, so it's like, okay.
Why? Why is he doing that?
He doesn't want to send that information. Let's Kat, you talk.
I'm sorry, Kat.
Stop screaming at her.
I'm not screaming at her, I'm screaming with her.
That's what makes me really interested, is I feel like most people see that and we're just like, why would you do that? But he says, like, he defends himself in the movie. He says, don't judge me, Cooper. You were never tested like I was, human habit. And his name is Dr. Mann, right? But his first name is actually Hugh. And then his last name's Mann, so
so it's the man sabotaging of themselves.
Yeah, and I feel like that's like the presence of his characters, like the, I don't know the term, but what humans are doomed to is like, no matter what. Like there's a shot in the movie when, I don't know what planet, it's like the icy planet, it's Matt Damon and Matthew McConaughey's characters, and it's like a drone shot and they're fighting, and there's like, you know, amazing Hans Zimmer music, and I felt like that was a commentary on like, no matter like miles and miles or like super far away from Earth, humans are still gonna find a way to like be at war.
That's true.
Because they love to try to validate their accomplishment based on what they did, based on what they accomplished, based on what their success. That's how they validate themselves as a human. I'm like, we're human. I'm human.
But also to be right, you know.
Everybody wants to be right.
Yeah, I read something like humans are like the only animal that will die to be right. Every other animal will die for survival. The human's the only animal that will actually not survive in order to be right, which is crazy.
I mean, we're like overpopulating the Earth, so it makes sense, and yeah, so that really made me think about the human condition on that part. I feel like it's a big theme in the movie. So I could talk about like science stuff, or like
give us the science stuff. I'm trying to get my mind around. Enlighten us on some of the science stuff, because I was like a little bit like, what the hell? I mean, I kind of got it. Like, y'all, I had science class. I was there.
Yeah,
I know some science.
The science stuff I would talk about is not because I studied it, and like much respect to everyone who's in the chat who actually knows this stuff.
Right.
Disrespect. But the stuff I want to talk about is like the stuff that's actually happening in the real world that a lot of people don't know about, because we're so distracted, right, on Earth with fighting each other and racism and the pandemic. But did you know that there was a group that they were banding? I don't know if it was government run, but they were getting people together, like 100 people, to send to Mars. Did you know that?
No.
They were signing up people. They were signing. It was called Mars One, and my friend was in it for a while, so they were like interviewing people, and it was a one-way trip, right? So you sign up to go there, and you can't come back. And then it got disbanded and bankrupt.
And your friend was involved as one of the
but she dipped out. She got married. She was like, nah, I'm gonna have babies on Earth. But I was like, how do you like even do it?
I mean, that might be going on right now, and they're just not telling us.
That's what I want to say. Is, you know, it's clear that, you know, not everything is shared with the public, and that's also brought up in the movie with the daughter, her character when she's older. She's in a car and there's like dust in the air, and the person she's with says, should we tell them? And she says no, because panic doesn't solve anything if you like don't have the answers yet. And I'm just like,
I like transparency.
Well, do you? I mean, we would like to think that.
Yeah, I want to know if there are aliens up in this joint. I want to know if we killed past presidents. I want to know what's going on. I want to know why we're going to certain wars. Are we liberating people, or do we want oil? Like, just we're adults. Tell us what's going on.
Sometimes you have to leave some stuff behind. You don't have to figure out everything accurately.
That's like the movie. Sometimes you gotta leave some stuff behind to go forward. Exactly. But how about the weirdness of, like, in this time we're watching the movie and everyone's wearing masks and they're talking about lunch. Like, it felt like, obviously it's not the pandemic, but there was like these eerie things about what's going on right now that are in the movie. It's so strange.
Yeah, I think anyone who watched it for the first time, or even again, like during this time, just seeing the mask is like very triggering right now because we're like, oh,
Triggering.
what that is. And in this movie, it's
And
like
people
the
coughing.
dust, yeah, and the dust is we might not know what that feels like right now, but if you've ever been in the desert when there's a storm, it's like it's everywhere. Like you can put on a mask, but it's still going to affect you. So I felt like that hit people kind of hard. It's a little bit scary, but I felt that.
Totally heavy. It's very heavy.
But
what's your favorite part of the movie, Kat?
I think my favorite part has already been said, so I was trying to think which was at the end when they get reunited. But I found it really endearing when he, for the second time, and really sad when for the second time he was driving away to go to space and he pulled open the blanket and she wasn't under there. I cried like 4 times during the movie, like ugly cried. So that the relationship between those two, it makes sense that their relationship pretty much saved humanity. So that was my favorite part. And I did also want to bring up another thing, just like dropping some knowledge, things people don't know. I do think it's weird that the Mars One colony got disbanded, but I don't think that means that something couldn't still be going on. And going back to like, wouldn't you want transparency? Like, wouldn't you want people to know? But I feel like there's a lot that is known, and I feel like information is hoarded because I would like to think the people that know it are also very like moral and want the greater good of humanity, right? But I also feel like
what about the Illuminati?
But like the pandemic, it's just like I feel like some people might have known, but why didn't they tell everyone? They're like, we can handle it, like we can control it. I don't know if that's true, but that's a very recent example of when there was information that was known. It's like, let's not tell the world and try to like use this information before there's panic. So I feel like if it's like, why wouldn't they tell everyone?
Right.
Or like,
well, the whole thing is like, who controls who should know and who doesn't know? That's the point.
Yeah, and that's like the illusion.
I want to be on the list of the ones that know. Can I get on that list?
It's usually rich people. It's usually like.
Damn it, we gotta be super rich to be on that list. Those guys don't need to know everything.
I want to be that list, and the lights go.
Like you can't
like going to space. But on that note, the last thing I want to say. So in this movie, we see when they're traveling through years of time, they get like sealed up. I don't know what it's called, but they have something like that right now. I just found this out on Earth. So
Yes.
Cryonics.
Frozen.
Does it keep you like frozen in time, or slows down your aging process?
Anti-aging, kind of.
It keeps you at like a very low temperature, so that if they're in the future, there's a way to bring people back to life. There's people who are like frozen right now who have signed up for that. There's people alive who already. I think Seth Rogen is one of them, and he's like signed. He's like signed up. It's called cryonics, and so
I heard about cryonics. They're saying like Walt Disney did it, and they said like all kinds of other people did it. But
no, Joe Rogan show.
But can you do it for like sleep for 6 months, or are you talking about only when you die?
Seth Rogen, not Joe Rogan.
Seth Rogen.
Seth Rogen.
Oh, Seth.
That's even weirder. Seth smoking ass Seth Rogen.
Don't fact check me on that, but So those are just things that are happening in the movie. Someone brought this up. They brought like Christopher Nolan. He brought on a theoretical physicist, but Kip Thorne. And can I read like what he said? He said there's that he needs in order to ground rules that he said in order for me to sign on to this movie. And he was basically checking like how realistic this movie could be, because it wasn't just like, okay, we just want it to be like this. It was theoretical, but they tried to base it as much as they could in science that we already know. So he said, 1, for me to sign on to this movie, nothing in the film will violate firmly established laws of physics or knowledge of the universe. And 2, speculations about ill-understood physical and universal laws will come from real science and ideas that respectable scientists regard as possible. So that's
based on basically Einstein's general relative. Einstein's general relative equation. So it's like what we see, everything is like not against this physics law, but I mean that means.
So it's based in some sort of scientific reality.
Of course.
Which it felt super real to me. I had a lot of vivid dreams last night about space and time travel.
Yeah, and so that. I know the movie's really hard to understand, especially if you don't have like the background of like hardcore learning physics and science, but I think the last thing, I don't want to take up time
No,
for the person, but I was like, okay, what is the movie about? You know, because you can watch it multiple times and be like, I don't get it. I still don't get it. I still don't get the Matrix. You know, I have to keep watching it over and over. But I'm thinking like maybe the movie could be like a commentary on how we might not understand a lot of things, and that's okay. But we can trust love, because as humans, like that's something that we know, right? Only you know if you love someone. Someone could tell you, but you're like, no, I know who I love. But only 90% of the time, because love can also make you crazy, right? So love is risky. So I think that's something they said in the movie was that they were like, what is the comedy setting on, or what is the honesty level on?
90% honesty.
Right.
90%.
Because if it's 100%, you're going to make the wrong decision, right? Because sometimes we choose the wrong person to be in a relationship with. But love, like beyond relationships, like we love our family.
Well, of course. Yeah, no, you're right. Because if someone tells you 100% like honesty, the honest thing is like we would never do anything, because the risk of doing a lot of things is not good. But we do it, you know what I'm saying? You follow your dream not because it's probably a good decision. It's because you're drawn to it. You might fall in love with the person, like, there's a 98% chance it's not going to work. And then you're like, I don't care, I'm going to do it anyway. So I think that's a good thing. 90% honesty.
I think that's a good way to go.
That's high.
Because you got to know, like, the
5%, 85% honesty.
He's not even 90% honesty. I think you're like 20%.
I'm like 99.
I think it's about timing, right? It's about timing. Because there can be a wrong time if you know, like, social cues, right? There's a right and wrong time to tell somebody. It's like the fact that you can tell them.
But if we're in the movie and we're in the fifth dimension, we have all the time. All the time.
All the time.
All the time. That makes sense.
But the cost of getting to that dimension, that was really stressful.
I don't know where that damn fifth dimension's at, boy, but I dig it. I don't know how long he was there. I thought if I was flying around the fifth dimension, I'd get hungry.
And you're like judging Matt Damon's character. You're like, what's wrong with him? And you're like, I'd be hungry. Like,
Matt Damon came out of nowhere. Lazarus came from the dead, was all cool, and then was like, I'm gonna start killing fools. Why, Matt? There's only 3 humans here. You're gonna kill one of them? Come on, Matt.
The human condition. Like, why are we killing each other?
Surviving condition. And he doesn't want to let that information go out there and then find out.
I still don't get his 100%. But why? Just, what's he gonna do? He's trying to plant those eggs somewhere on a planet? What's he doing? Matt, what are you doing?
Okay, but like, we see during the pandemic, like,
he must be hungry.
He's probably hungry. This fool hasn't eaten in like 6 months.
Like, humans
He's probably hungry, and then he wants to eat that.
Like, humans are social creatures. Like, it's really clear during quarantine. If you're alone for a long time, you get weird. If you're alone for 20-something years, you're going to be really weird. And none of us might know what that feels like.
I know. You're going to try to kill one of the people that come see you. What the heck? No, so I love the movie. Did you enjoy the movie, Kat?
I did. Yeah.
Awesome.
I love that.
Next week, we're going to sign off shortly, but next week we have a movie called A Place in the Sun.
We're going to go back to
George
black and white again.
Black and white.
He picked that movie.
Montgomery Clift, Elizabeth Taylor, Shelley Winters. Martin Scorsese once said, you don't have to go to film school, you just have to watch A Place in the Sun. Study A Place in the Sun.
What is the strategy that both of you use to choose the movies? Because you're like in the Tesseract right now. You're like, okay, we're going to 20.
No strategy. We have some strategy, but now we're just free flowing.
Free flowing. He's just like out of.
And we're gonna start taking some. People can send us messages with ideas of something you guys want to watch.
Yeah, that's what I suggest. Like, let's.
Do you have something? Hit us up.
What they want to watch, or what is the famous film everybody wants to watch, and he wants to go back to white and black.
Black and white.
Black and white.
Let me tell you something. That's our history as filmmakers, is black and white films. We need to watch more and understand. Even though not all of them are going to fare well, Kat will definitely let us know if it doesn't age well. But this is like a fine glass of wine. It's messed up for sure, but that's part of the story.
All right, let's see.
So, Place in the Sun next week. Look for it. Okay. Place in the Sun. Thank you, Kat.
Thank you, Kat, for joining.
Thank you. Bye. So that was the next week. So thank you guys. I want to get more people on. I apologize for people that we're trying to get on.
Yes.
We'll do more, and we'll
We want to bring
send us some ideas. Like as we post the video, I'm posting it on mine. You're gonna post it on yours, and then you can leave comments on it. And please post upcoming movies you guys want to watch, and we'll try to get those in. And especially stuff that I've never seen. I'd love to see some new films.
Absolutely, I would love to see new films too. More international films, more black and white films.
Yes.
So.
And I want to just shout out people as I go. Lena's Maddie 2020. What's up? Jeffrey Grimes, thank you for coming out. Alex Day, you're on. Thank you so much.
Thank you for joining.
Cognac Queen in the house as always. What's going on? She wants to watch Avatar and Night Shot. Come on. Well, I want to watch that too. Actually. Shout out to Cognac Queen, the Sip Gang. Chris Nina's. What's up? Thank you so much for watching. You guys, another great week. If you haven't watched Interstellar, it's definitely a good one to watch. It's an amazing film.
Absolutely.
I'm Dante Bosco.
I'm Alice Rahmatullah.
This is Cinema Club. See you guys next week. A Place in the Sun.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.